I don't really know where to start. I just don't. It is just chaotic garbage going on right now. We will play the clips in a moment. So the New Hampshire primary has happened. Trump has won, but he hasn't won with this huge big margin. He was claiming he was going to win by 30%. So straight away, the likes of Carrie Lake, Don Trump Jr. Are putting out the theory, because the way it is with the new Trumpy Trump Republican Party, if they don't win, then it's all fixed. It's not democracy. Everything's against them. So straight away they're saying that, and they're blaming the Democrats, not sure how that works. You have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Can I just go on record? Marjorie Taylor Greene is a liar. President Biden had his own primary in New Hampshire. He won. She was trying to say at one stage the write-in ballot had given it to Biden's opponent, the random guy. It's just a lie. And what's going on now, every single moment, how many lies can they throw out? It's like a pile of stinking, rotten dog poo thrown out, hoping that some sticks. It's straightforward untruths. Elise Stefanik, liar. Carrie Lake, liar. Tim Scott is an embarrassment. Tim Scott rushes to get engaged, to get a picture out, so that he suddenly, in his world, can qualify to be potentially a Republican vice president under Donald J. Trump. What sort of man does that? What sort of person does that? How are we? I'm being deadly serious. Why is the truth not important? What is going on? Well, as I say, those people, they're just liars. Do you really envisage a world where Carrie Lake or Marjorie Taylor Greene is vice president? Could that really, really happen? I mean, Nikki Haley at the moment has almost been put over as a moderate. You know, if you listen to some of the Trumpy Trumps, Nikki Haley is, she's an insider for the Democrat Party. But yet, the nonsense and craziness, every single moment, something within the Trumpy Trumps happens. Let me give you an example. Charlie Kirk organises a thing, Turning Pointless or whatever, TPT, is part of the Republican Trump setup. Okay? Does a show on one type of cable news or another. He actually said today, every time he gets on a plane, if the pilot's black, he gets nervous in case they are not qualified. I mean, that is just blatant BS, blatant racism. But it's the normality. Why has crazy become norm? You know, if you go back to Obama, you know, Alex Jones, bad video. Alex Jones was just a freak. You know what I mean? It's like watching a freak show. How has that nonsense become the norm? I mean, I always thought, you know, the likes of Tucker Carlson was never going to become the mainstream Republican Party. And they're all very rich. All these people that are moaning, they're all extremely rich. What they don't understand, though, is those that maybe aren't as affluent as aforementioned names, yet seem to think their hard-earned money should be sent to Trump. Rape case, Trump's innocent. Documents, Trump's innocent. Election, Trump's innocent. Everything to do with Jan 6, Trump's innocent. If one of these charges had been brought in the direction of Joe Biden or anyone within the Democrat Party, there would be outrage. Every day, rudeness, racism, transphobia, hate, they're just basic ingredients which the Republican Party under the Trumpy Trump side push out. Yeah, if you dare have a joke, dare make a comment back, you're racist, you're rude, you're not allowed to say that. It is like there's no sense of humour allowed, unless it's the Republican sense of humour. But back to New Hampshire. What exactly has gone on? How? And I blame CNN, MSNBC to a certain extent, because instead of actually exposing and investigating, they're going along with the circus. They're not holding up. Hold on a minute, that's not true. It's like Trump could do this, Trump could do that. There's no analysation. Trump hasn't suddenly become like a little bit dysfunctional in his head, hasn't suddenly become incognitive. Can't say the word, there we go. But, you know, his cognitive state didn't just arrive as Iowa, New Hampshire were voting. It's been there for a while, but it's slept under the carpet. Caitlin Collins did this big Trump town hall. It was like an advert, because they don't stand up to him. The way they see it is, they don't really care. It's box office. They know they put Trump on its box office. There's no politics involved. It's pure showbiz, which is going on with all of these clowns in the circus as well. Now, that may well be, I'm an outsider looking in, that may well be how you get your health sorted, how you get your schools sorted, how you get your houses and roads built, infrastructure, how your jobs are protected, how abroad on a foreign level, if you have a circus, that may well be what works. Who am I to say anything? What I will do is play you some, if you're still with us, if you've gone, well, there you go. Play you some of the moments, they're not in sync, it's just the story of New Hampshire. Yeah? Look at it, and by the way, one really, really important thing. The election hasn't started. Just want to say that. Because, I think it was Nikki Haley who actually said, the way some people are going on, as if the coronation of the former guy, that's it. It's all over. Nope. Hasn't even started. Thoughts?
Can I ask why? Why Nikki Haley?
You can, because my conscience won't allow me to vote for a criminal. I'm sorry.
And what has led you to vote for Haley instead? What do you like about Haley? What are some of the attributes that drew you to her?
She's not Trump.
I want to, I'm 74 years old. I've lived in a constitutional democracy all my life. I want to remain that way, and I want my grandchildren to grow up in one, not a dictatorship.
And I'm curious, over the last two elections, have you voted Trump in the past? Was it something where you voted for him, you trusted him, and you were disappointed?
Yes, I voted for him in 2016. I am a registered Republican, and I regretted that vote almost immediately, especially on his trip to Europe, where he insulted our allies and praised Putin.
Joe Biden. Oh, just because, honestly, I think he's doing a better job than people give him credit for. And he's got a lot done on infrastructure. I believe climate change is real. He's actually done something on it, which almost nobody else has.
With Donald Trump, Republicans have lost almost every competitive election. We lost the Senate. We lost the House. We lost the White House. We lost in 2018, we lost in 2020, and we lost in 2022. The worst kept secret in politics is how badly the Democrats want to run against Donald Trump.
These are fake numbers. Nikki Haley does not have this much support. She's going to come out and claim that she's rising in the polls. All these fake news media people up here on this platform are going to claim that Nikki Haley is rising in the polls. It's a total, complete lie. Absolute lie. Tonight, Nikki Haley was defeated. The problem is she's going to be dumb enough, and she's going to be a fake candidate, and she's going to keep going, and we are going to destroy her in South Carolina. It's going to be a complete humiliation. I can't wait to see it happen, so I'm fired
right now.
So we can officially say the Biden-Harris campaign has dementia just like the president. They forgot to put him on the ballot, and their voters are having to write it in, and he's losing. Joe Biden is losing the write-in here in New Hampshire. You can't say anything more pathetic than that.
You can't make that up. Well, Jimmy Kimmel will write about that tomorrow night on his show.
With Donald Trump, you have one bout of chaos after another. This court case, that controversy, this tweet, that senior moment. The other day, Donald Trump accused me of not providing security at the Capitol on January 6th. Now, I've long called for mental competency tests for politicians over the age of 75. Trump claims he'd do better than me in one of those tests. Maybe he would. Maybe he wouldn't. But if he thinks that, then he should have no problem standing on a debate stage with me.
Okay, so she's obviously now challenging the former president to a debate. We don't believe that's ever going to happen.
I want to congratulate Donald Trump on his victory tonight. He earned it. and I want to acknowledge that. Now, you've all heard the chatter among the political class. They're falling all over themselves, saying this race is over. Well, I have news for all of them. New Hampshire is first in the nation. It is not the last in the nation. This race is far from over. There are dozens of states left to go. And the next one is my sweet state of South Carolina.
And tonight for the Democrats.
And so we want to update about the Republican race where we can characterize it. The Fox News Decision Desk believes former President Donald Trump has a solid lead in the Republican primary. Former Governor Nikki Haley appears to be running a somewhat closer race than some recent surveys showed going in. And that's where we are tonight. It's too early to call this race as of this hour.
Okay, so you're saying that he does have a lead, but we're not ready to call it yet because he was going into this with about an 18-point margin, according to the Real Clear Politics.
She's outperforming that, and we're waiting for the raw vote total to come in. As we look at our Fox News voter analysis numbers, that's the rolling poll that we take of New Hampshire voters, just like we did in Iowa. You're looking to match the raw vote total that's coming in with those numbers, and right now she's outperforming. But it still looks like the former president has a solid lead.
Characterizing exactly as a solid lead, but Haley is performing a bit stronger than we thought, and we have got about 17% of the vote in. They're about 5,000 votes apart, so just a little bit longer before we have a real solid call to make.
All right, thank you, guys.
And second, let me say this, Laura. If Nikki Haley was everything y'all are saying and Donald Trump is, she's a globalist and all that, he endorsed her to lead America on the United Nations as ambassador. Was he wrong? No. Donald Trump was right.
He endorsed a lot of people that ended up, obviously highly critical of him, and they've parted ways. Again, nothing personal, but just because he endorsed her, people endorse people all the time, and then they part ways. Sometimes they get back together. But that doesn't, you've been around this game a long time. You know how it goes.
Now, you've all heard the chatter among the political class. They're falling all over themselves, saying this race is over. Well, I have news for all of them. New Hampshire is first in the nation. It is not the last in the nation. This race is far from over. There are dozens of states left to go. And the next one is my sweet state of South Carolina. At one point in this campaign, there were 14 of us running. And we were at 2% in the polls. Well, I'm a fighter. And I'm scrappy. And now we're the last one standing next to Donald Trump. And today we got close to half of the vote. We still have a ways to go, but we keep moving up.
We win the primary, we win the generals, we've won it, and it's a very, very special place to me. It's very important. If you remember in 2016, we came here and we needed that win, and we won by 21 points, and it was great. And today, I have to tell you, it was very interesting because I said, wow, what a great victory. But then somebody ran up to the stage all dressed up nicely when it was at 7, but now I just walked up and it's at 14. But she ran up when it was 7, and, we have to do what's good for our party. And she was up, and I said, wow, she's doing like a speech like she won. She didn't win, she lost. And you know, last week we had a little bit of a problem, and if you remember, Ron was very upset because she ran up and she pretended she won Iowa. And I looked around, I said, didn't she come in third? Yeah, she came in third. And then I looked at the polls. She was talking about most winnability, who's going to win, and I had one put up. I don't know if you see it, but I have one put up. We've won almost every single poll in the last 3 months against crooked Joe Biden, almost every poll. And she doesn't win those polls. And she doesn't win those. This is not your typical victory speech, but let's not have somebody take a victory when she had a very bad night. She had a very bad night. And you have the now very unpopular governor of this state. This guy, he's got to be on something. I've never seen anybody with energy. He's like hopscotch. And, you know, I'm watching this guy, and 2 weeks ago he said, we're going to win in the landslide, we're going to win. About 3 days ago he started saying, well, we want to do well. That's a big difference. But I walked out just now, we're 14 points up, and I don't know what it's going to be. But when she was up here, it was like 6 or 7. And, you know, with like 7% of the vote counted. Now, let me just tell you, we had an unbelievable week last week in Iowa. We set a record. It was the best in the history of the caucus, in the history. And I remember I sort of had the same feeling. I'm up and I'm watching, and I said, she's taking a victory lap. And we beat her so badly, she was, but Ron beat her also. You know, Ron came in second and he left. She came in third and she's still hanging around. The other thing, she only got 25% of the Republican votes. I don't know if you saw that. Tremendous numbers of independents came out because in this state, because you have a governor that doesn't frankly know what the hell he's doing in this state, in the Republican primary, they accept Democrats to vote. In fact, I think they had 4,000 Democrats before October 6th. They already voted. Now, they're only voting because they want to make me look as bad as possible. Because if you remember, we won in 2016. And if you really remember, and if you want to play it straight, we also won in 2020. By more. And we did much better in 2020 than we did in 2016. But as they said, we lost by a whisker, just by a whisker. No. But we can't let that happen. You know, you have to have people that speak up. I said, I can go up and I can say to everybody, oh, thank you for the victory. It's wonderful. Or I can go up and say, who the hell was the imposter that went up on the stage before and like claimed a victory? She did very poorly, actually. She had to win. The governor said, she's going to win, she's going to win, she's going to win. Then she failed badly. Now, I have here, if he promises to do it in a minute or less, but the only person more angry than, let's say me, but I don't get too angry, I get even. The only person... because he was there, and he did fantastically well, by the way, and then he endorsed me. And we don't have to talk about Tim Scott, who, by the way, just got engaged, we have to tell you. And that's more important than all of this stuff. But a man that got to know her very well is Vivek. I said, Vivek, go up and say a few words about it. He has to do it in 1 minute or less, and then we're going to just say, we had one hell of a night tonight. And one other thing, before Vivek comes, do you see that poll? We're going to put it up. We have beaten Biden. You could almost say, who can't? Who the hell can't? The man can't put two sentences together. He can't find the stairs off a stage. Who can't? But Vivek, 1 minute or less. Go do it, Vivek.
What we saw tonight is America first defeating America last. That's what we saw tonight. If you want America last, you can go to Joe Biden. You got another candidate still apparently in the Republican primary. Cut your Social Security to fork over more money to Ukraine so some kleptocrat can buy a bigger house. Go to Nikki Haley. But you know who delivered a double-digit victory tonight? It is a double-digit victory as of right now. Is this man, Donald J. Trump, the leader of America First. And that means something. Now, USA and Donald Trump, America First. Now, I got 30 seconds left. I want to make this point here, okay? We got to say this right. What we see right now with her continuing in this race is the ugly underbelly of American politics, where the mega donors are trying to do one thing when we the people say another. And it's up to us, we the people, to at long last say, hell no. We the people create a government that is accountable to us. And we the people have said tonight we want, again, as we did in Iowa, Donald J. Trump. And so you want to actually speak truth. That's the truth tonight. And the only thing they're rooting for is an ugly thing that we don't want to see happen. That's what these people are rooting for, is playing to say long enough so the Reid Hoffmans and the ugly Democratic George Soros Jr.'s who are funding the lawsuits against Trump can prop up their puppet. We say no to that vision. I say the general election begins tonight, and this man will win it in a landslide. God bless you, Donald J. Trump. Vote Trump, USA.
Very nice. Wasn't that nice? So this was a great evening, and I want to thank everybody in the audience, and I want to thank the people that are standing behind me. You know, I think we called it right. Immigration's a big deal, a very big deal. We have millions and millions of people flowing into our country illegally. We have no idea who the hell they are. They come from prisons, and they come from mental institutions, and it's just killing our country. And I'm talking about millions and millions and millions. They are drug dealers. They're everybody. And they come in just like walking right through. There's nobody to check, and there's nobody to vet. And we have a man with us tonight, Tom Homan, who is central casting. He's central casting. And I'd like you to say a few words about the border and who's going to solve that problem and how quick are we going to do it, Tom? Go ahead, please.
All right.
I felt I should do this because I find in life you can't let people get away with bullshit, okay? You can't. You just can't do that. And when I watched her in the fancy dress that probably wasn't so fancy come up, I said, what's she doing? We won. And she did the same thing last week, but he was much more angry about it than I was. I said, get up there and you let him know.
The Dobbs decision practically dared women of America to be heard. In writing, they said, women are not without electoral or political power. No kidding. I said at the time, I don't think this court and the MAGA Republicans have any clue about the power of women in America. I don't think they have any clue. But they're about to find out.
And just a little note to Nikki. She's not going to win. She's not going to win. But if she did, she would be under investigation by those people in 15 minutes. And I could tell you 5 reasons why already. Not big reasons. A little stuff that she doesn't want to talk about. But she will be under investigation within minutes. And so would Ron have been. But he decided to get out. He decided to get out. Now, Vivek